Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gary Smith, and welcome to the Storm Count. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last few days, you've probably seen that there have been 3 cards leaked from the Hour of Devastation expansion set. Now these 3 cards are quite interesting, although it is sad to see the leaks of such 3 iconic cards from the set so early, though Wizards only have themselves to blame because it was the French Wizards website that leaked these cards. That said, we're going to take a look at these cards today because they're really exciting to have a look at. Now, one of these cards is fairly mediocre, one of these cards is just really hard to evaluate, and one of these cards is really exciting. So we're going to work upwards from the worst card, and that is Samut the Tested. 2 red-green for a mythic rare Planeswalker type Samut. She has a +1, up to 1 target creature gains double striking to end a turn. -2, she deals 2 damage divided as you choose any among any 1 or 2 target creatures or players. And search your library for up to 2 creature and or planeswalker cards, put them to the battlefield, then shuffle your library, and she starts on 4 loyalty. I really don't like this card that well for multiple reasons. One of them is story reasons, but mechanically she doesn't really do that much. Her +1 is great if you're already ahead on the board and they can't block, so it punishes control decks that maybe falter. But we already have that in the form of Gideon, so unless Gideon gets banned, there's no real reason to play green-red for Samut. And yeah, maybe play in the red-green energy deck, but I think you've got better things to do than try and win on turn 4, maybe like winning on turn 3 or 2, which I have seen them do. Her -2 is also fairly weak, even for a 4-mana Planeswalker. This minus is just 2 damage to 2 creatures or players. So you can either shock a creature for a minus or split it between 2 creatures. Though I'm quite glad a green Planeswalker is fairly weak this time. Although her -7, her ultimate, is fairly good because it's basically an entwined tooth and nail, except it also hits Planeswalkers instead of creatures if you want. So you can go get Emrakul, blah, or get something else. I think she'll be reasonable in Commander. Outside of that, though, not great. Standard, again, like I say, you have to be able to have like this creature that's unblocked or just has trample already. And there's not really many of those at 3 mana that make her good. Maybe in like a weird, Teamer deck with the 2/3 trample flyer or something like that. Or if there's a 3-drop trampler in this set, then maybe it will be good. But I'm not really that excited by it. Though there is that 3-mana leopard or tiger that when it attacks, you can spend energy to give it +2/+0 and trample, or maybe it comes with trample already. So theoretically, that could see play there, but it's unlikely. Arlene Cord, I think, is actually a little bit better than this card because of what Arlene does. She does something on an empty board straight away, other than a shock. So I think Arlene Cord's better and just doesn't see play. So I'm not sure Samut will see play either. The other reason I don't like her, the story reason, is I just wanted to see Jeru get a Planeswalker card instead of Samut. I don't like the Samut character. I don't like this character. Obviously, we were going to have it, but I don't like the fact that the character was like, oh no, I found out that a guy came and changed our gods. Oh, by the way, totally betrays a friend by saving him. Yeah, I know, it seems weird. She saved him. How's that betrayal? Because their culture is that he was going to die an honoured death. And I don't think you can just choose to save I don't know. In the actual plane story, she does come across as a bit of a git. Mostly because I'm a fan of Bolas and I don't really care that much about what he's done to the plane. Yes, I know objectively she's a good character, but I'm fed up with all these good Planeswalkers. I want another bad guy. Yeah, we knew we were going to get Bolas, but another Bolas henchman, someone that maybe succeeds more than Tezzeret. So I would have liked to see Jeru. Hopefully, though, we'll get a Jeru creature card who hopefully, basically kills Samut in the storyline, I'd hope. Unless her Planeswalker Spark Igniting is by Jeru trying to stab her, because we've yet to see why her Spark ignites. And we don't even know if she's loyal to Bolas or not yet, actually. So I'd like to see what that goes on. Obviously, she's against Bolas to begin with, but when he comes, she might, join him. So we'll have to wait and see what actually happens there. She is the tested, so I don't know whether she's passed or failed that test, but we'll have to wait and see. The second card today, the one that's really hard to evaluate, is Bontu's Last Reckoning. 1 black for a rare sorcery. Destroy all creatures, lands you control, don't untap during your next untap step. At first glance, people are like, this is a 3-mana Wrath. This is amazing. This is fantastic. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is really mediocre in the current format. Most decks, apart from maybe the Zombies deck, don't flood the board that early. The Mardu Vehicles deck doesn't. The Energy deck doesn't. It only plays 1 or 2 creatures early on. And you can't really afford to tap out on turn 3 a lot of the time at the moment anyway because of cards like Gideon and Marvel. So unless those 2 cards get banned, I don't see Bontu's Last Reckoning really seeing play. Especially not with Heart of Kiran. The idea of just going Wrath the board, pass turn, they play a creature, activate Heart of Kiran, attack you for 4, you get a turn, draw a card, play a land, pass the turn, they hit you, play another creature, and hit you for like 10. I don't really appreciate that because you could just be dead then. You may have to do another Bontu's Last Reckoning just to recover, and if they've played a Gideon or something like that, it's just not good enough. I don't like it. I like what they're trying to do. It's like, hey, everyone's complaining about 5-mana Wrath, so let's give them a 3-mana. It's like, no, just give us a good 4-mana Wrath. Give us a destroy all creatures in black, a color-shifted Day of Judgment. Just give us that. We didn't need anything more, and I think that would be more than good enough for Standard, because it still doesn't hit Planeswalkers, it still doesn't hit things like Heart of Kiran. The decks that have all these really aggressive threats that we can't answer, by the way, are very good. Hopefully, though, we'll still see instant speed Planeswalker removal in this set that doesn't drain you for ridiculous amounts of life, because 3 life for Anguished Unmaking is a lot in this current format. You just can't afford to play that, I don't think, unless you're the aggressive deck. Control decks just can't play that. Next up, though, finally, I guess, we have our best card of the day, the card I'm really excited about, and I've been really excited about seeing, so I'm kind of glad to see it before I decide what standard deck to play in the next format, and that is Bolas, God Pharaoh. 4 blue, black, red, so 7 mana, 3 of which are Grixis, to get a 7 loyalty mythic rare Bolas Planeswalker with a +2 of target opponent exiles cards on top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand. At -4, God Pharaoh deals 7 damage to target opponent or creature an opponent controls. And -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponents control. This card is fantastic. Not only is it 1 mana cheaper than the last Bolas Planeswalker and is easier on color requirements because it doesn't require a second black, this card is absolutely insane for a 7 mana Planeswalker and does everything you'd want it to do short of wiping the board. But hopefully by turn 7 you should be able to get the board to a fairly stable place with a sweeper or something to really push the game home for yourself, or at least single target removal, because again, I'm not sure sweepers are that great in this format, at least not that 3-mana one anyway. There's also the fact that this combines really well with his servant Tezzeret, and maybe his unwilling servant Chandra, who he has technically done his bidding in the past because she was tricked into it. Basically, both of those ramp you on turn 5 onto 7 mana, and that's fantastic to be able to play Bolas turn 5 rather than turn 7. 2 extra turns early against most decks in the format without counterspells is going to be fantastic. Against control, it's not great, but against control, Tezzeret's fairly good because he just wins the game because they can't answer it, and he just creates a stream of 5/5 attackers. But no, I'm really excited about this card. Like, he's got 2 pluses, which means he's going to be ticking up quite a lot. Both of them are just really good forms of card advantage. +2 in standard form at the moment might seem a bit mediocre because you can hit cards that are just bad. You could hit removal spells with no targets, and you could hit things like that 1 mana green, such a low for basic land, gain 2 energy. So it does have a few naff hits, but you also have the choice of just +1ing and going, your last 2 cards in hand, or you got 3 cards in hand, strip 2 of them away, which is fairly good against things like ramp decks, which control decks are just normally really weak against. But it's also fairly good against the Marvel decks, because if you manage to stop them playing Marvel, and they just don't get to go onto a Ulamog, sometimes they draw them, and Bolas allows you to just exile them from the guy's hands and take over the game that way. But the fact that +2 guaranteedly hits a spell is quite nice, and I love his -4. -4 is just 7 damage to target creature or player. And by the way, you can just redirect that to a Planeswalker, so if he comes down, he's going to kill either a Planeswalker, a creature, and if you want to, just yeah, board's empty. You don't really want to play a spell from their deck, though I don't know why you wouldn't. Just -4 their face. You get to basically wreck them. 7 damage is going to be quite a lot, and maybe theoretically we could see some good ways of just pushing for extra bits of damage. We already have Unlicensed Disintegration in Grixis colours, control a couple of 8 artifact, cast that. They're taking 3. Torrential Gearhulk, flash that back. They're taking another 3. It's entirely possible that Grixis control will just be like a cruel control deck, like it should be, where it's just chipping you from points of life every time it does these little things. In fact, maybe you'll get a counter spell that does damage to the opponent. A 1 blue black, they lose 2 life, you gain 2 life, that kind of thing, which also really helps against aggro. We could see a lot of these great cards, and hopefully we will see some more 2-color cards to help Grixis and its mana, because the mana is fairly slow and a bit unwieldy, to be honest, to get double colors. I'm going to have to start looking into a Grixis mana base, though, because I really want to play a Bolas Planeswalker deck. It's just such a good card. I love his character. And hopefully we'll be able to make something that works and tries to win us the game, or can win the game and be tier 1. So, yeah, that's my analysis of these 3 cards. Hopefully we'll get some more soon, well, in about 2 weeks, I guess. But they're fairly good cards. Again, 1 mediocre, 1 hard to evaluate, and 1 great. As a whole, it's a fairly good power level. Bolas is where I'd like to see him. Maybe if he had like a +1, or maybe if like the +1 was a +2, and he had like a -1 of sweeping the board to some degree, or -X of sweeping to some degree, that'd be a little bit better. And he doesn't really synergize that well with Dark Intimations, although a single copy allows you to -4 him twice, which is 14 damage. That's going to win the game fairly quickly, which is what I like about Bolas. He gets you a couple of things from their deck and then kills them fairly quickly, which is going to be great. So yeah, that's today's video. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.